A baby born with cleft lip and palate or cleft palate only has an opening in the roof of her mouth, between the mouth and nose. This prevents her from making the suction or vacuum which is needed to pull milk from the nipple. As a result, even though a baby with a cleft has normal sucking and swallowing reflexes, she needs special bottles and nipples to allow the formula to flow without the help of adequate suction.
The social worker comes in and she has the bottle and she's like, "How have you been feeding him?" And I open up my suitcase and I have a suitcase of contraptions as to different ways we had been feeding. Things that tape to my neck, things that tape to my breast, things that put around my head, and my husband had things. It took an army for us to try to figure out how to feed him, and then in 5 minutes it was all resolved.
During a feeding, formula may come out of the baby's nose. This is called nasal regurgitation. The baby may also swallow too much air while feeding. The feeding goal is to help the baby get the right amount of milk in the right amount of time and avoid taking in too much air. Here are some simple guidelines. Place the baby in an upright sitting position to prevent the formula from flowing back into the nose area. Watch for a pattern of sucking and swallowing. Listen for a swallow followed by a breath. At first, many babies suck and swallow many times without stopping to rest. Most will figure this process out within a few days and develop their own rhythm of sucking, swallowing, and resting. Keep the bottle tilted so the nipple is always filled with milk and pointed down away from the cleft. The infant will move the nipple into the most comfortable position for her. As your baby feeds, some formula may escape through the nose. This is common and does not mean she is choking. Hold your baby in a more upright position. This will lessen the amount of milk coming through the nose. She may even sneeze or cough. This is good because it clears the nose. You don't have to use a bulb syringe to suck milk out of the nose. The nose clears and cleans itself. Remember, this is not dangerous and does not mean your baby is choking. Babies with a cleft need to be burped more often because they take in more air while feeding.
Okay.
Watch for signs of discomfort. Your baby will give you signs that it's time to stop and burp. How will you know it's working? Your baby should feed in about 30 minutes or less. Longer feedings can cause exhaustion and burn up too many calories the baby needs to grow. Secondly, your baby should return to birth weight by 2 weeks of age and gain a ½ pound per week. This is an average, so be sure to follow the guidelines of your primary care provider.
The problem is not that she's not wanting to eat, but she has a physical impairment that does not allow her to properly feed. Once we had the team together and we were able to communicate with them and they were very accessible, that it made me more comfortable and it kept us more cohesive to, okay, this is what we need to do for our child and she's going to be okay.